close to Russia. So it's President Putin's actions that are precipitating what he says he doesn't want. Yeah. There's now an opportunity, if he takes it, through dialogue, through diplomacy, to see if we can address any legitimate Russian concerns, as well as address many concerns that the United States and Europe have over Russia's conduct. Right. Beyond this military buildup on the Ukraine border, Russian-led troops are now intervening in violent protests in Kazakhstan. They also stepped in after recent Belarus elections and the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta said a few years ago that what he believes drives Putin is a desire to restore the old Soviet Union. Do you agree? I think that's right. Former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta said a few years ago that what he believes drives Putin is a desire to restore the old Soviet Union. Do you agree? I think that's right. I think that's one of President Putin's objectives, and it is to re-exert a sphere of influence over countries that previously were part of the Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. And as we've said, that's unacceptable. We can't go back to a world of spheres of influence. That was a recipe for instability, a recipe for conflict, a recipe that led to world wars. Do you think the invasion is likely? Do you think an invasion of Ukraine is likely? Look, I can't tell you whether it's likely or not. I can tell you this. We're committed to dialogue and diplomacy to see if we can resolve these challenges peacefully. That is by far the preferable course. It's by far the most responsible course. But equally, we're prepared to deal very resolutely with Russia if it chooses confrontation, if it chooses.
All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right, so the prophecies are speaking. Or the fire is being kindled. All right, because they said the vision is yet for an appointed time. What's the vision? The vision represents a revelation. All right. All right, and that word to speak means to kindle. All right, to ignite, basically to breathe. All right, so the prophecies are speaking right now, meaning they're being manifest. And one of those prophecies is Russia, the bear, going to war with Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, America. It shows even more that America is Babylon, man. All right. But I am come to send fire on the earth. Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? So we know the Lord's will because the fires are already being started. The prophecies, right, they're already being kindled. And America is being destroyed before our eyes. All right. So we know what the Lord's will is. His will is to destroy this place. This is Revelations chapter 9, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. All right, so it's prophesied that there's going to be 3 world wars. All right, and they're speaking. It's happening. But you still got one major prophecy that has to happen first before the World War III is really like at a climax. Yeah, it could kick off like this week, next month. It could happen in over there in Ukraine. They can go to war, like another proxy war, or what you would call a regional war. All right. You're supposed to have a lot of talks between America, NATO, and EU, and Russia this week, and they said they have a pretty good idea that they're not going to be able to agree on anything. So it's not looking good. All right. It's looking good as far as the prophecies, but it's not looking good as far as the people that don't want this place to be destroyed. All right. So it says what? One woe is past, man. That was the First World War. And then you had the Second World War. And after that, you entered into the nuclear age where Russia became a powerhouse and player in the war. And America became a powerhouse player in the war. And they both set up strategic deterrence dealing with their nuclear missile arsenal. All right, so now Russia has surpassed America, saying, Scripture says, "Let the weak say I am strong." They have surpassed America. They dwarfed America in getting their nuclear arsenal increased and advanced. All right, in technology. So, but yeah, man, you see, they say Russia Putin. His whole aim is to bring back the old Soviet Union. I've been saying that in many lessons. Some brothers been saying it out there in many lessons, man. But that's their goal, is to bring back that old Soviet Union and take over those areas that were originally part of the Soviet Union, like Kazakhstan, you know. So that's Russia's goal, is to take back those Soviet Union areas and go to war with the EU, the dragon. So the second woe is past, and the third woe cometh quickly. 2 more woes. All right, and these are the prophecies speaking. All right, so let's read the prophecy that's speaking right now, because they're saying it out their own mouth. The talking heads is what I call the newscasters. These are some damn talking heads, man, and they feed in instructions and they get on there and talk. But yeah, man, he's saying Putin wants to bring back the old Soviet Union, man, and they trying to stop him from doing that. This is Ezekiel 38, and let's start from 1. All right, and the word, I'm trying to go through this quick, though. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, man, the land of Magog, talking about Russia. All right, that's specifically the Kremlin, you know, where Putin is. The chief prince of the land of Magog. All right, basically Eurasia, Eastern Europe. They want to go to war with Western Europe and vice versa. The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right, that's that Eurasian area of the continent. I will turn and say, Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So the Lord is setting Russia up for his own destruction as well. All right, they're going into slavery. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. So the Lord is controlling, saying, I'm going to take control of Russia and intervene and turn them back into being the old Soviet Union when they fell in 1991. All right, or in the late 80s, going into 91. All those countries, member states of the Soviet Union, they broke off from the Kremlin. All right, made deals with people like Nato. They wanted their own sovereignty, you know, made deals with America. But now Russia's taking those places back, just like China is trying to take back Taiwan and South Korea. North Korea wants to take South Korea, which is ran by America. All right, so, and we basically at the point of the Cuban Missile Crisis again with Russia. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, meaning he's going to take control of Putin or Russia and turn them back into being that old Soviet Union, or wanting to be that old Soviet Union again, causing this war. All right, and put NATO right on the borders, right on their damn doorstep, with missiles pointed right at Russia. That's almost like, they said 20 minutes or 10 minutes away. And they said if they let them get a little closer, if Russia lets NATO and America get get any closer on their border, on Russia's border, then they'll be 5 minutes away with missiles. So they said they cannot allow that to happen. So that's why you start hearing things like preemptive strikes. All right, and scriptures speak about that, man. It's going to be wars and rumors of wars. But he said, the Lord said, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, man. He's going to control them. And I will bring thee forth, all right? Bring them out of hibernation, just like a bear. And bringing them forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all right? Horses represent their vehicles. All of them clothed with all sorts of armor. All right, so they all gonna be covered in all kind of armor and defense technology. Even a great company with bucklers and shields. All of them handling swords, man. So they all gonna be trained. It's like super soldiers. China, Russia, Iran, Ethiopia, Turkey. You know, all these nations, they're training their soldiers and doing military exercises. And they're going to have such advanced technology. They got robots out there. They got exosuits that go on the body. They got drones, you know. So they're going to be having all kind of armor. And all of them going to be fully equipped in handling this new technology they got. This is what Persia, the Iranians, Ethiopia, I did a lesson showed that Ethiopia is doing nuclear deals with America. With Russia, Slovakia. Libya, you saw what America did to Libya. So you know they're siding with Russia now. They've been doing deals with Russia. All right, you can look it up. It says Russia is looking into partnering with Libya. All of them with shield and helmet, man. So they're gonna be fully protected against what America can do in Israel. All right, Gomer and all his bands, talking about like people like France, because they're going to turn on America as well. The house of Togomar of the North Quarters, you got Turkey. You even hear about Turkey with the whole situation with India and Australia, with America equipping Australia with missiles. All right. So, where was that? So you got Turkey talking about turning against America now, all right, and joining with Russia. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And that's what Russia has been doing, being a guard unto these nations, keeping America from destroying them. All right. As of late, America and China have been the only deterrents to keep America from going after Persia or Iran. All right. And Syria. You know, it's really the Most High, Revelation chapter 7, that's holding back the winds, the destruction. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. So like, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter days thou shalt come into the land that is broken, that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. All right, so ultimately the elect are going to be scattered and brought back from the places we were scattered, all right, and protected in those places. Especially here in America, where Russia is going to come against this place. Thus saith Yahweh, the power, it shall, now verse 9, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith Yahweh, the power, it shall come to pass. So this is going to happen, man. These prophecies are going to come to pass. That at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. See that's Russia. So the Lord gonna put the thought in his mind and for Russia to not only go after the land of Israel, where the fake Jews are, but also to come up against this place called Babylon as well. All right. It says, so they're gonna think a bad thought in their mind. Like, you know what? They on Russia's border. How about Russia go to their border or send missiles over there to America? All right. So the Lord gonna put the thoughts into Russia's mind to complete the Lord's will. And we're seeing it being manifest before our eyes, man. He said he's gonna turn back our captivity before our eyes. And you see the newscaster said it. He said Russia is planning on bringing back that old Soviet Union. That's Putin's goal. All right, so he said he's gonna put a thought into his mind. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. All right, because America has no defenses against Russia and China and these nations' technology right now. They're all stronger than America, but America's still making the threats. Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And that's why Putin has it in his mind and in his generals' minds and their plans to bring back the Soviet Union, man. They're going to take those lands again. They're going to get involved in these different places where NATO already has their foothold. You see that? So now they got to go to war for them to get those places back. So that's the Lord doing that. The Lord love of controversy. He set that up. All right. So they got all kind of talks coming up, and they're saying they're trying to speak about peace, and they're hoping to have a dialogue of peace. But check, we already know the scripture, 1 Thessalonians 5. For when they shall say peace and safety, all right, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape, man. Especially this place, Babylon. You know, they want to be safe, but they have no defenses against these nations' artillery. They want to be safe, but they want to go around and provoke and be busybodies around the world, pushing their demonocracy on these nations and their Christianity, all right, and their New World Order agenda of the EU. So the Lord has a what? He has a destruction for this place. But when they shall say peace and safety, when they try to do their peace talks, sudden destruction is just going to happen. The Lord going to manipulate the situation and cause Russia to cause a preemptive strike from somebody on this place, Babylon, man, or NATO may attack Russia, or Russia may attack NATO over there, starting the war. Russia, the bear going against the beast, the dragon, and the whore of Babylon. All right, so yeah, this is prophecy, man. The Lord said, at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. All right, and the word prophecy means to say before. And these are the revelations, that were written from the prophets like Ezekiel. And then that were, more detailed when the seals were broken by Yahushua in the heavens from the throne of Yahweh in the book that was in his hand. And he was able to open those seals according to Revelation 5 and 6 and 7 and so on. And he was able to tell and clarify on those visions. You know, he said the visions that are yet for an appointed time. And one of those visions is Russia going to turning back to be the old Soviet Union and being controlled by the Lord. And we're seeing the Lord's power controlling Putin. Just like the Lord controlled Cyrus the Great. You know, 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. So he gave us power by speaking his word and saying it before it happens. Right? Kal halayim le'hal b'Hashem Yahushua. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So Russia is in that land of the Medes today. All right. And as for gold and silver, they don't want it. They just want to destroy this place in America because they're in the way. And they got to get them off their back doorstep where they got the missiles at. All right. So, yeah, man, the Lord is stirring up the Medes. Where is it at? 18. And their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. I mean, in Russia and China and these other nations, they're going to be ruthless when it comes to their destruction. When they want to destroy this place, America, they're just going to shoot missiles everywhere. They're not going to say, let's not target this area. You got some Negroes there. You know, we have Floyd Mayweather in Russia, so let's not kill his people. Nah, they ain't going to care. They're just going to destroy America. Their whole aim is going to be to destroy this place. All right, and they're not going to be able to be paid off either. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. See that? They're going to see it. And they're going to do just like America did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They didn't spare the children or the families. They're just going to drop the bombs, man. They're not going to be aiming just at the Pentagon or at this military base. Nah, they're going to be dropping them on cities and states. Like Russia had that whole projection and demonstration of the Vanguard, the invincible missile that was shot over here, and they showed it hitting Florida, the Panhandle. Right? They didn't show it hitting some military base or the White House. No, their focus is the whole damn state, knocking out a chunk of this place. All right, so yeah, man, this is prophecy. The Lord's showing his power, man. The year of the turn up. All right, the Lord's turning up the heat. We still got prophecies that got to come to pass, but this year, everything can happen quick. It can all happen real fast. You got these world powers and these elite bankers all meeting up in Dubai, having talks about an economic collapse this year, and all these nations switching over to a digital currency. It's right there, man. All right. Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, man. So this was the glory of these other nations before. The beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, man. All right. So this was their bottom whore, America. Of the Chaldees, which would be the elite bankers of Esau over there in Europe. They got rich off America. It says, what? This place shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, man, because it's going to happen. The prophecies are going to come to pass. All right, and they're speaking right now. They're being turned up. The Lord is turning up the heat. The word speak means to kindle like a fire, or to speak like a breath. All right, so the Lord is speaking more, bringing the prophecy to pass. Isaiah 13:4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, talking about the missiles, and actually the nations coming together, all right, for war, like as a great people. You see that? A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. So they all coming together, like the Lord said in Ezekiel 38. But it's Yahweh of the Lord of armies that muster the host of the battle, that's bringing them all together, controlling their minds, man. All right, causing Russia to want to be that Soviet Union again. It says they come from a far country. Now it's talking about the missiles from the end of heaven, right? So the Lord created his weapons of indignation to waste it, to destroy. That's another way he'd muster in the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So this whole land is going to be destroyed. Ultimately, they're going to go up against the land of Israel, and ultimately they're going to go up against the land of unwalled villages, called Babylon or America. And they're going to destroy the whole land. That's their goal. All right, so the Lord is making this happen, and we're seeing it happen before our eyes. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom.